Have you ever wondered where our Christmas traditions came from, or how they came to be used in Christmas in the first place? Today, I'm going to discuss some of these traditions, including hanging mistletoe, putting up Christmas trees, and telling the story of Santa Claus. You will probably know most of these traditions, but you might be surprised at some of their origins. A common sight during Christmas is mistletoe, and while most of us associate mistletoe with pleasant memories and fond feelings, the biological makeup of mistletoe tells a different story. On Dictionary.com, in an article entitled "The Sad Truth About Mistletoe," the author states that the name is derived from two German words meaning dung branch, and this is because most of the seeds are spread by bird feces. And mistletoe also has a long history of being used in the medical field. In an article for History.com, published on December 24th, 2013, Evan Andrews describes how ancient people in Greece cherished mistletoe for its healing benefits. It had several healing properties, including a cure for everything from menstrual cramps to spleen disorders. So why do we kiss under mistletoe? In the same article from History.com, the author explains how mistletoe was declared a symbol of love by the goddess of love in Norse mythology, and its ability to blossom during the winter led to it being displayed in many homes and eventually associated with Christmas time. So even though we just think mistletoe is part of some silly tradition, its historical importance is much more significant. Another common sight during Christmas is Christmas trees. In another article from History.com entitled "History of Christmas Trees," the author describes how people in ancient Europe believed that winter occurred when the sun god became ill. So they would celebrate the solstice, which meant that the sun god was regaining his health. And they did this by decorating their homes with evergreen plants. And this represented the triumph of life over death because of the evergreen's ability to stay green year-round. And many countries believed that evergreens kept witches and ghosts away and also would keep them from obtaining illnesses. The article goes on to tell that evergreens were first used as Christmas trees in Germany. And German immigrants in America in the 1840s would display these trees in their homes. And most Americans considered them pagan symbols because they were so unusual to them. The first person to light a Christmas tree was Protestant reformer Martin Luther. During his walk home on a winter night, he noticed how beautiful the stars were in the night sky. And in an effort to recreate the image for his family, he went home and decorated his tree with lit candles, creating the first Christmas tree. So while we see Christmas trees as commonplace today, they actually have a very long and interesting history. Finally, one of the most recognizable Christmas figures is Santa Claus. The legend of Santa is based on an actual person named St. Nicholas, who was a Christian bishop who lived around 300 AD. And in an entry for St. Nicholas on Biography.com, they claimed that Nicholas was the protector of children, and he was constantly doing work for the poor and giving gifts to the less fortunate. But more recently, Santa has been associated with the Salvation Army. SalvationArmyUSA.org states that Santa began its association with the organization in the late 1800s, and the organization offered homeless people money to dress up as Santa Claus and ring a bell to collect money for the organization. This soon took off, and the bells can still be heard in front of shopping malls and businesses nationwide. Certain cultures, including those in Austria and Germany, believe that Santa travels with companions. In an article for Scotsman.org, published December 22nd, 2012, Stuart Kelly discusses the characters and their roles during Christmas time. The most notable is Krampus. The horned devil-looking creature with red skin and cloven feet was known for, quote, giving bad children coal, whipping them with birch branches, and abducting them in a sack to take them home and eat them later. End quote. So while we see Santa as a fantasy character, his best features of charity and kindness are actually based on a real person. and his story has spread to many places and people. So I want to thank you all again for coming today. Today I've told you about the less than appealing origin of mistletoe's name, the symbolism of Christmas trees during winter, and the real-life inspiration for Santa Claus. So while most of you are familiar with these traditions, you may not have known their origin or why they represent Christmas. So hopefully with the information I've given you, you will have a greater understanding of these traditions and how they have shaped our most popular holiday. Thank you. All right.
You saw